How's it going, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. So this week, as you'll have seen from the thumbnail and the title, we are going to be fitting a new steering wheel cover from Wheel Finesse. So before we unbox this and get into what's actually in this box, which is a very nicely presented box I will say, but before we get into that, I just wanted to show you these. Now this one is the handbrake Gator, and it's actually suede with red stitching, and then we've got a gear stick Gator as well, so they're going to be going on the car at the same time. At the moment I've got suede with white stitching, which originally I'd done because it was going to go with whatever wrap I chose, but I just thought I'd do a little bit extra and go with the red stitching. So let's have a look, see what's in that box. So here we have the box, and as I said, it's a very well presented, nice box to be fair, which is a kind of a shame because it's only going to go in the bin. But when we open it up, put that down there, we've got a little beer mat, I suppose you'd end up using that, but it's got a discount code on. It's a bit of a thank you. There's the wheel wrap itself, and I'll get onto that very shortly. I'll just show you what's in here. Obviously some instructions there, and then when you open it up full size, they're actually blown up in there for you as well, so it's always good because I'm going to need to be reading them a lot. We've got a tuck-in tool, so you can sort of get it into the little areas, but I'm not going to use that, and I'll show you why. I'll tell you why and show you what I'm going to do. There's the inside of the box, which again, it's really nice for a box. It's kind of a shame, but then in this little bag we've got some tape to go on the inside of the wrap to help it stick in certain areas maybe, and then obviously 2 needles and the red stitching. The steering wheel wrap cover itself, call it what you will, for the top and the bottom half. Now obviously not all steering wheels have this like cover plaque going over it, so you have to just choose top and bottom anyway, you don't get a choice. But we have black suede. That is why I ordered those with black suede and red stitching. I had those off a guy called Sean. I'll leave a link in the description to his Instagram channel. Go and check him out, drop him a follow, it'd be much appreciated. Same with these guys, Wheel Finesse. Everybody knows Wheel Finesse, but there will be a link in the description for these too. And then I've gone for the Napa leather sides instead of the perforated stuff. I just feel like with the perforated stuff, all dirt and sweat and stuff would just get stuck in the pores of it, whereas this is going to be a lot easier to clean. So that is why I've gone for the Napa leather. I said earlier about not using a tucking tool to get the wheel wrap, you know, in and around these bits. Now that's because I'm going to take this airbag off so I can move these out of the way. This comes off pretty easily, it just sort of pulls out. If you can get a trim removal tool in there, or sort of in here somewhere, or wherever, this does just pull out. The same with these, but because they're slightly under the airbag, it can be a little tricky. So just to save myself a bit of messing about, I'm going to take this off, disconnect that, and then we can take these off quite easily, and then we can put the wheel wrap around the steering wheel, and we haven't got to mess about tucking it in places, you know, because in all honesty it's quite tight there, you know, there's not much room. And yes, this will move a little bit, but you could risk damaging the wheel wrap, and I don't want to do that. So a little bit extra time to make my life a little easier down the road. With the battery disconnected, get the airbag out. Then these, I've got a tool here, but you probably don't need it. If you got 2 hands you can probably do it, but as I've only got me 1 spare because I'm trying to film with the other, let's try and get this out. I don't know, actually, just give it a try. With a bit of force you can get these out. There you go, you can do it with 1 hand, yes. So just leave that one in there. Pull that one out, being careful not to break anything. That can sit in there, and then this does just pry out if you, like I said, if you can get a tool in there, brilliant. I'm trying to do it without damaging my wrap on it that I'd put on, but anyway, that does just pull out the same. It's just on these like little plastic clips, as you can see there, so it does come out. We'll get that off and then just fit the cover around here. Right, so what you want to do first is make sure you get it the right way around. So with this one, because it's got these cutouts here, I'm assuming that's for this bit here, so here goes nothing. Now these are quite tight, so you do have to kind of stretch it I think if I put the bottom on, hold it with my knee, and then stretch it up and around, that's not too bad actually. I was expecting it to be a bit stiffer than that, but that's okay. Pause. Just push that round like that. Yep, okay, that's cool. Yeah, obviously those bits are for tucking in there. And I'd imagine it would join up with the back somewhere like that. But also, once you've got it in that position, make sure it's kind of even, I'd imagine, so that when you stitch the bits together, you know what I mean, it overlaps in the middle where the stitching is already. I mean, you could probably move it around if you haven't used any of the tape to stick it down. Now, I haven't. I don't know if I'm going to yet. Time will tell. But yeah, just for now, I'm going to try and get it all so that it's all in place. The markers pretty much bang on. So yeah, I think give these instructions a bit more of a read and get stitching. Glad they've exploded them pictures up there, because that makes a lot more sense to me than reading all that. Some people are different, aren't they? You know, some people can read something and know how to do it straight away. But yeah, these are helpful, obviously. So what it's basically saying is you have to cut sort of, you got line 1 and line 2, so back and front if you like. But that's what I'm doing anyway. So you got to go through from the inside, go through the last stitch, then come over and sort of go through the last stitch there again for the first time rather, then loop back over and do the same thing again, which is basically what that shows you to do. And then once you've done that, you go under the first stitch there, and then you miss one out on the other side, so you go to like the second one and you come back through and you miss one out either side till you get to the end. So yeah, not too sure how this is going to go yet, guys, but I shall do this one first, because in these instructions it does tell you to do it a certain way, left first. So I shall do this one first, work my way. Well, it says do left then right, bottom and then top, but obviously I don't have a bottom, I've only got sort of left, right and top. So I'll do this one, I'll do this one, and then I might do the top. Might do it in that order, I'm not sure just yet, but I'll let you know as and when I've done a bit. Wow, that is the first sort of section there done. As you can see, it's creased a little bit and it's not sort of together the best in there, just those little rimples there. But I think that's because obviously on these steering wheels you've got this bit that sticks out here, so obviously when that goes thinner, it can pull tighter, because the material, when it's here, the material can pull together, whereas around the thicker piece, you can't sort of get the bits to overlap. Like down here, the front part can overlap, whereas there it can't, because it can't pull round. As I was sort of threading through, I'm trying to sort of squeeze these this way to try and get it to come together, but it just wouldn't. But if I'm honest, I don't think it looks too bad. Yeah, okay, you got a couple of ripples you can see, but my first go, I'm fairly happy with how that's turned out, if I'm honest. I probably could have pulled it tighter a bit more here, and it says in the instructions to, you know, pull it tight but not too tight. So I was trying to pull it tight but not too tight down here, and then the further up I got, the actual tighter I was pulling it, to try and get this to move in. And you can actually pull it fairly tight. When you're doing it for yourself, you'll know what I mean. You can pull it really, I'd say you can pull it really tight. Don't obviously pull it too tight, but you need to pull it tight enough. It sounds stupid, but when you're doing it, you sort of get a feel for what you're doing. And I'm not too sure how long I've been on that. I might have been on that section for about 20 minutes, which I think, again, for my first sort of time, I don't think that's too bad. So next up, I'm going to do the right side, and then I'm going to do the top. One thing I did have to do was reconnect the battery just to turn the steering wheel round, because when you're trying to get the needle into the last sort of thread hole up here, you can't really see it. So I turned the wheel round, so this piece was sort of up here, and I was able to see what I was doing a lot more. So yeah, that'd be a tip for you. So yeah, going to jump onto this side now, and I'll show you when I'm done. There we have it. That is how it's looking right now. That looks off, but it's not. I can feel it under there. It is exactly in the right spot. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. I've got to do some more tucking sort of down behind the steering wheel there. Obviously put the airbag back on as well. But yeah, that's how it's looking so far. I'll do all the tucking and all that, sort of make it look pretty behind, you know, here and that, off camera. But yeah, next is fit the airbag, and then we'll get these changed over. So quick update, guys. That one is in, as you can see. It's relatively easy to get out. It just pulls out from the bottom and the top there, and on the top there's a little tab and this has got a cutout on it, so you can't sort of get it upside down and whatnot. So that's elasticated around there, so that's nice and secure. And now doing this one, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in a video before when I'd fitted these, but you've got, obviously it comes to 2, and then you've got a 1 at the front. The 1 goes at the front, and the 2 come backwards, not the other way around like I did it before. And basically the same with that. There's like a plastic cover that goes the inside there. It's stapled through, so obviously the staples come through the plastic, and then you just pierce it through your new Gator. So that has actually got a piece somewhere. There it is. The sort of framework for it that just then clips into that, and then the whole thing just pushes back down into there. So I'll do that now, and then I'll show you guys how it's all looking. So guys, I've finished the wheel and the Gator install. I'll spin you around just in a sec and show you what we've done. Going forward, I think if I was to do another one, or to someone else's car, or if I redid this one, say all Alcantara or something like that, I think I would pull the stitching a hell of a lot tighter than I have. And I know from obviously finishing it that lining it up is so essential. It really is. I don't just mean obviously with the 12 o'clock marker and all the rest of it, but when you start stitching, if you don't follow the stitch that's underneath, as in stitch directly over it, or if you don't have the bottom bit sort of moved round enough, then you're not going to leave yourself enough material at the back to tuck in, and you're going to leave yourself too much at the front. So that's my tip, because yes, that happened to me. And just sort of at the bottom where the little VXR plaque is, it's still sticking up a little bit. I can't really do anything about it now because it's all stitched and stuck down. But going forward, I would do things differently, and that's ultimately what we do, isn't it? We do things, we try things, and we learn. So that's my top tip anyway. Thank you guys for watching. Like I say, I'll show you that in a sec. I'll give some footage of that. But I just wanted to say thank you for watching, guys. Subscribe if you're new. We have got a few more things planned and already here. So in this roll tube, we have the wrap for the rear diffuser, and I'm going to do a little bit of something different on there, so stick around for that. Hit me a thumbs up if you found this helpful, you like what I've done. Let me know down below if you don't like it, if you have any opinion on it. I'd love to hear from you guys. Enough of me waffling. Thank you for watching. Spin you around. Enjoy.